The Developing Sports Managers and Leaders Across Europe project aims to develop nationally meaningful guidelines and policy recommendations on how to plan, deliver and embed employability frameworks to support sports management education in university and vocational training provision. The project has a number of objectives focusing on working with students and managers at all levels, aiming to develop a digital toolkit with best practices for developing employability within and outside higher education. These digital guides and e-resources, recorded webinars and support videos will benefit sports management academics and employers who engage in collaborative work-based or work-related learning interventions. Outside of the sports management discipline, there is a growing consensus that employability is more than just obtaining employment and shall focus on supporting learners and professionals to build meaningful careers over the long term. Authors from different disciplinary backgrounds agree that a unified definition and integration of conceptual frameworks are needed when combining the fields of employability research in higher education and workplace learning settings. In taking a broad view of employability, the project partnership aims to focus on 6 key areas in developing a toolkit. These areas include how we utilize current information about core competencies, knowledge, training, and conceptual focus for the discipline. Work-related learning, work-based and work-integrated learning, career development learning, skills and lifelong learning frameworks, and enterprise and entrepreneurship education. In focusing on work-related learning, interventions are often planned activities that use the context of work to develop knowledge, skills, and understanding. That could be on or off campus or in a learning setting. These types of activities can include authentic professional practices, signature pedagogies, areas such as case study learning, simulations. In work-based and work-integrated learning, we see students and learners engage in a range of experiences with employers and in employer settings. These experiences can range in both proximity to a workplace and the authenticity of the task. Career development learning develops specific knowledge and skills to secure initial employment and allow learners to reflect on their ongoing career management. The career development learning and guidance field is subsequently evolving into a group of theories and associated interventions that can facilitate employability and transitions from educational settings into professional settings. Broader lifelong learning and skills exploration is often being associated with higher education and vocational education. The language of skills describes a range of personal abilities and features that students and graduates need to possess if they're going to be successful in their future careers. In focusing on this area, the partnership aims to explore the generic academic and lifelong learning competency frameworks that may be available. This includes the European Commission's Digital Competency Framework, DigiComp. The partnership has prioritised enterprise and entrepreneurship education as part of this framework, as we have seen a number of labour force reviews in Europe looking at the impact of self-employment in sport, but also the call from national and international organisations to develop a broader and enterprising mindset in workers in sport. In focusing on enterprise and entrepreneurship education, the partnership recognises the separation in definition. Enterprise education as the process of developing students in a manner that provides them with enhanced capacity to generate ideas and the behaviours, attributes and competencies to make them happen, versus entrepreneurship education as the application of enterprise behaviours, attributes and competencies that help create cultural, social or economic value. This can lead to venture creation, but not exclusively. This balanced view of exploring dimensions of employability aims to develop a toolkit to support colleagues both in academia and in vocational education training settings. The project partnership will have clear phases about reviewing current practice, researching with students and sports managers, creating a toolkit, and then communicating and reviewing that toolkit with the academic and employer communities. The best practice review will aim to work within the sports management discipline, but also work with colleagues in cross-disciplinary communities linked to the key dimensions outlined. that of work-based and work-related learning and enterprise and entrepreneurship education as an example. In considering the contextual scope of the field research, the project partners have discussed the complexity of sport and are focusing on utilising an institutional lens, identifying appropriate communities of organisations that have common meaning systems and purposes. In using this approach from a worldview, the partnership recognises a complex stratified ecosystem of organisations in sport and will focus on national and international tiers. Within the national context, the partnership will prioritise core sports provision, whose common purpose can be focused on elite and/or participation provision, recognising there can be multiple sub-communities across the mixed economy. The National Sport and Ecosystem Framework, combined with the use of management echelon ideas, will provide a clear sports management framework for the field research. The field research will focus on measuring attitudes towards career intentions, career readiness, professional identities, entrepreneurial intention and orientation, and self-assessment of skills and competencies. Partnership will explore life history and career trajectory methodologies with expert managers. The partnership intends to explore the research outcomes and proposed toolkit with a number of national employer forums. The project was started in January 2021 and will aim to complete its work in December 2022. If you would like further information about the project, please contact Stephen Osborne, the project coordinator.